Right, settle down. Settle down, everybody, thank you. Right, welcome to today's briefing. It's nice to see some new faces out there. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Detective Inspector James Holm. I spent 20 years with the Surrey Constabulary before transferring here. Right, the case. Now, this was handed down to me by the DCI, and it made it very clear that he wants this done right, and he wants it done fast. So everybody, bring your A game, all right? Enough said. Okay, the victim. The victim is a 48-year-old single female, Victoria Rushmore, an actress. She was found dead in her NW3 flat, that's the Swiss cottage area, at approximately 1300 hours by her cleaner. On discovery, the body was fully clothed. Right, so locals have established the following. The victim lived alone. She was known to her neighbours, and they described her as friendly but standoffish. A cheap mobile not belonging to Miss Rushmore was found near the body. This was later confirmed when Miss Rushmore's mobile was found elsewhere in the flat. Soccos found a knife near the body. That knife had a V logo on it. There was a half-eaten plate of food and 2 wine glasses on a table, and Soccos reported evidence of cooking. Right, preliminary COD. Death by stabbing. The body also displayed signs of bruising. Now, this could of course be defensive wounds, but we'll have to wait for the coroner's report on that one. Right, statements have been taken from the following. Richard Anderson, male, a businessman, ex-lover of the deceased. Amber Wright, female, a makeup artist, also an ex-lover of the deceased. Barbara Nettingfold, female, agent of the deceased. Annette Rushmore, female, mother of the deceased. Simon Graythorpe, male, actor. Now, he was also represented by Barbara Nettingfold. Rachel Allington, female, a cafe worker. Tom Byers, male, a personal trainer. And Jasmine Dayton, female, best friend of the deceased. Now, the cleaner's identity is still being verified, so more on that later. Okay, that's it. Your job is to review the interviews and decipher the clues. Now, don't forget to attend daily briefings where you'll find more information, tasks and clues. At the end of the week, we'll ask you to consider the evidence and decide who you think the likely murderer is. Right, you got that? Good. Get on with it.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the one who found her. I'm Daniella, her cleaner. So, I was running a bit late, you see. I had to get my little boy over to my mum's. He was being a nightmare. Toddlers, eh? Anyway, I'm running over there, and I was so over the place, I didn't get a chance to get me coffee before going. So, I get there, and I'll ring the doorbell, as I always do, and there's no answer. So, I didn't think anything of it at the time. I just thought she'd gone out. Luckily, I had my key in me, so I let myself in. And first thing I notice, the flat's cold. I noticed suddenly the windows had been left open. I thought, strange. Anyway, at the corner of my eye, I see on the table some drink and some food. But I think to myself, that's a bit odd. And the reason why it was a bit odd, see, there were 2 glasses of wine on the table, but there was only 1 plate of food. Odd, right? So anyway, I go into the flat, and I noticed Victoria just lying there on the floor by the sofa. Sorry, I just knew something wasn't right. She was not spark out, not out cold or anything, just looked odd. Put it this way, I just stood there for a moment or two, and I knew I had to do something. Couldn't do nothing. So I called the ambulance. Victoria was the nicest lady to me. Always had a friendly word. She even let me bring my son over if I couldn't find child cover. Anyway, the last few times I've been over, I noticed she'd been a little distracted. She said to me recently she'd been getting some odd phone calls. I even noticed she'd been distancing herself from her friends for a bit. She even came off social media. I didn't think much of it, though. She did that kind of thing from time to time. Well, last time I saw her, she said she was getting some money and didn't say where from. But come to think of it, she did mention there was someone bothering her. She showed me some texts. She did say that this person was from her past, and she kept getting calls from this particular number, you see. I don't really remember what was on the messages. Something like, what was it now, birthday or something like that? I don't know, though. I mean, what with one thing or another, I was always really busy. I didn't pay much attention. I feel so bad now. I really wish I had paid attention.
Sorry, yes? Yes, Victoria Rushmore is my daughter, yes. Yeah. Sorry? Sorry. She's dead? Well, I don't understand. I only spoke to her yesterday. It's, we were talking about, my her father is going to be 75 next weekend, and we're having a lunch for him, and we were talking about, having, how did she die? Stabbed. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Officer, you'll just have to give me a minute. I can't believe it. Victoria, my little girl. She always wanted to be an actress, always dancing and singing. My little Vicky. You just have to... Excuse me a moment, Officer. Just give me So when did I last talk to her? Well, yesterday we spoke at 11:30. We made a joke of it. We were both in different coffee shops at the same time, sort of like having coffee together, and she sort of lives in that cafe. We weren't talking for very long. I heard somebody come up to her and meet her, so we cut it a bit short. So I used to talk to her every couple of days. Sometimes we used to go out for lunch. I used to come up and stay in her flat with her. She's got a lovely flat. Just gather my thoughts. Was there anything she was worried about? She the only thing I can think of is that she said she was a little bit worried about security. So I assumed it was at her flat, and we said that her dad would come and put an extra lock on the door, just to be sure. Although maybe now I think about it, she may have meant online. She mentioned something to me about being a bit worried that she might have been being stalked. She was on a couple of websites like Tinder and a couple of others, I think, and so maybe she was talking about that. She said she'd had a couple of odd phone calls, so I don't really know. Although she was rather worried about money, she had some money worries, and a little while ago I paid her credit card bill for her, and I know I shouldn't, but she's my daughter, and it's about £400. So she was a bit worried about money. As far as her social life is concerned, she was very sociable. She had lots of friends, although perhaps not quite so aware of who they were in the last few years. Maybe they seem to slip away a little bit. There's Jasmine. Jasmine was a friend from drama school, and she's still friendly with Jasmine. She didn't really mention anybody in particular. Then she was with Richard and with Amber, although we're not really sure how close they were. She didn't really talk about that. I mean, she's an adult. What else can I tell you about her? Very sociable, outgoing, friendly girl. She went away after her A-levels for a year to do some travelling. She said she was going to do, it would bring her in adulting, she called it. And we didn't see her for the whole time she was away. After her A-levels, she went away. We didn't have Skype or Facebook in those days. And she came back very different, and then went off to drama school, which is what she'd always said she wanted to do. That's about all I can tell you, officer. Excuse me, I have to. Thank you.